फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट और SFIO तक की आपकी जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई? What inspired you towards choosing this field, sir?
I think at early stage this inclination was natural to me that I wanted to try some or wanted to go into jobs related to army or a police.
UPSC की सर्विसेज जितनी भी हैं लगभग 15 सर्विसेज UPSC की हमें जानकारी में है, जिसमें मेनली IAS, IPS, IRS, IAS एंड सो ऑन। अभी हमें जानकारी में आया कि SFIO भी जो है वो UPSC की स्पेशल सर्विसेज में फॉलो होता है। हाउ डू यू वांट टू एडवाइस आवर व्यूअर्स, दोज हु वांट टू परस्यू देयर करियर इन SFIO, और हाउ विल दे गेट टू नो अबाउट ऑल दीज थिंग्स?
SFIO gives you exposure as a chartered accountant in multiple ways. First, as a permanent employee, if I talk about, UPSC gives an advertisement for hiring for the permanent cadre of SFIO specifically, where they ask for a experienced chartered accountants having relevant experience in the field of forensic audit. And then they have 2-3 streams where chartered accountants are eligible to apply. First is forensic audit, then there is a capital market, and in banking as well.
तो सभी को नमस्कार। आज हम मेंबर्स इन पब्लिक सर्विस कमेटी के माध्यम से पॉडकास्ट का आयोजन करने जा रहे हैं। हमारे बीच में CA प्रदीप बालयान जी हैं, जो कि SFIO में सीनियर असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टरेट में परमानेंट कैडर चेन्नई में पोस्टेड हैं। सर, आज आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत व अभिनंदन है हमारे पॉडकास्ट में।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
आप एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैं और फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट, फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन, फाइनेंशियल क्राइम इन्वेस्टिगेशन एवं फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस में 13 वर्षों से ज़्यादा का अनुभव रखते हैं। SFIO में 9 वर्षों के दौरान आपने रियल एस्टेट, एविएशन, FMCG, NBFC, मीडिया, EPC एवं पॉन्जी स्कीम्स जैसे सेक्टर्स में बड़े फाइनेंशियल फ्रॉड इन्वेस्टिगेशंस में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाई है। आपका पुनः आज के पॉडकास्ट में बहुत बहुत स्वागत व अभिनंदन। मेरा सर आपसे पहला प्रश्न है, फॉरेंसिक ऑडिट और SFIO तक की आपकी जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई? What inspired you towards choosing this field, sir?
First of all, thank you for calling me and having this discussion for our fellow chartered accountants. जो मेरी CA की जर्नी है उसका मैं आपको एक बैकग्राउंड से बताना चाहूँगा कि मेरा ओरिजिन हरियाणा से है और मेरा रेजिडेंस जो है वो दिल्ली का है, दो प्रेजेंटली आई एम पोस्टेड इन चेन्नई। सो माय ग्रैंडफादर वाज इन आर्मी एंड मैनी ऑफ माय रिलेटिव्स आर इन दिल्ली पुलिस और सिमिलर जॉब्स ऑफ यूनिफॉर्म। आई थिंक एट अर्ली स्टेज this inclination was natural to me that I wanted to try some or wanted to go into jobs related to army or a police sort of. So when I joined CA and I cleared it in 2012. Thereafter I also did some private jobs, and all those jobs and organizations were leading organization in their sector. Like I worked for a startup which was a prominent startup at that time in grocery delivery. One of the startup that you all know, that startup was a rivalry and the same venture capitalist funded company. Unfortunately, that company could not succeed as it happens with most of the startups. So thereafter and before that I was also into a CA firm. I did many internal audit engagements, statutory audit engagement. So more or less my profile from the starting was related to auditing. And then when I joined private sector, that startup I was talking about, in that also I was primarily getting involved into in finance domain, where I was doing MIS, creating SOPs, policies, when we were living new cities for operation, how establishing the finance department and making policies for that. So it was always not the normal core finance profile which I liked, and I was always involved into the areas which are related to auditing or finding facts or frauds into things, doing cost audit, fraud audits, and fact findings. So after that startup, I joined another leading QSR company. That company is listed now. Back then, it was not listed. But in the meanwhile, while I was doing all these jobs, that inclination that I told you that of uniform jobs was always there. So in between, I was trying for Air Force job also, and there like I tried FCAT. FCAT is a Air Force entrance test for going into officer jobs in Air Force. I cleared that exam in around 2014, if I'm not wrong exactly. Then I gave SSB. SSB is the interview procedure where for all the armed forces, the selection procedure is the same. It's a 5-day program. It includes test and interview, personal interview. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it. So that journey ends there for the Air Force part. But then while I was doing my jobs in private sector in finance, one day I just saw that there's a job of a consultant which is coming in serious fraud investigation office, and it's a contractual job. I just thought it's an interesting name. By then, I honestly tell you, उससे पहले मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि सीरियस फ्रॉड इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफिस जैसी कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एग्जिस्ट करती है. बट इट जस्ट कैच my like attention, and then I applied for it, and it was merely interview that time. So I went for interview. There were 27 people there, and I got selected. 2 people selected, including me. That's how the SFIO journey started for me. I joined as a consultant, and then later on I joined SFIO as a permanent cadre.
Very good, sir. So till today we are told that UPSC की सर्विसेज जितनी भी हैं, लगभग 15 सर्विसेज UPSC की हमें जानकारी में है, जिसमें मेनली IAS, IPS, IRS, IAS एंड सो ऑन. अभी हमें जानकारी में आया कि SFIO भी जो है वो UPSC की स्पेशल सर्विसेज में फॉल होता है. सो how do you want to advise our viewers, those who want to pursue their career in SFIO, or how will they get to know about all these things कि भैया अच्छा SFIO के माध्यम से भी आप पब्लिक सर्विस के अंदर अपनी प्रिपरेशन कर सकते हो. So what is suggestion for them, sir?
So first of all, I will tell you that SFIO gives you exposure as a chartered accountant in multiple ways. First, as a permanent employee, if I talk about, UPSC gives an advertisement for hiring for the permanent cadre of SFIO specifically, where they ask for a experienced chartered accountants having relevant experience in the field of forensic audit. And then they have 2-3 streams where chartered accountants are eligible to apply. First is forensic audit, then there is a capital market, and in banking as well. If a chartered accountant have a experience in forensic audit, he can apply for forensic audit jobs that comes through UPSC for SFIO. If chartered accountants have experience in banking, he can apply for a banking domain. If he has a experience, she have a experience in capital market, then also they can apply through capital market domain advertisement. And for that, you have to keep on checking the UPSC website. The notification comes on UPSC website only. Then secondly, you can join as, I joined initially as a consultant. For that, the advertisement comes on the website of SFIO. And for that you have to scroll and keep checking the website of SFIO for the vacancies that comes on time to time, and sometimes twice a year or sometimes once a year. So, but if you keep on looking that, and this is another way where you can join SFIO and get the exposure of doing or being part of investigations in some way. And then third is that there is that for assisting investigations, the organization also empanel CA firms for assisting investigations, because many IOs are not chartered accountants, and these cases include so many voluminous data and financial data which require analysis, interpretation, and assessing that information in a logical way, so that the violation of Companies Act, accounting standards can be brought out. So, and for that, chartered accountants help the investigators, and in that case, CA firms are being empaneled. So, there is another way through which you can be part of SFIO.
ग्रेट सर. डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शंस और टेक्नोलॉजी के बढ़ते इस्तेमाल के साथ भारत में फॉरेंसिक ऑडिटिंग कैसे इवॉल्व हो रही है?
टेक्नोलॉजी, आप अगर हम कहें तो टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ एंड समथिंग विच कीप्स ऑन इवॉल्विंग, एंड समटाइम्स इट्स इवॉल्विंग एट अ रैपिड pace, which we currently looking at, like last 10 years it has gone to a greater degree than in comparison to previous decades of technological development. So, but the fact remains the same, is the human behavior. So greed will always be remain the same. Technology only amplifies it. It gives leverage, it gives scalability. So fraudster use it for the purpose for doing frauds, and it helps them, fraudsters, to scale their frauds in a greater way. So whatever fraudster could achieve in years now can achieve in months with the help of technology, and making things complex for detection. But same goes with the investigator, and I mean, like, if investigators now, there's so many methods, tools which are there, and with the help of technology, the detection has also become easier comparatively. Now you in past you cannot look all the files, you cannot look all the papers.
Yes.
But now today, when data is in soft, and there's a server and email, and emails are there are tools and techniques where you can even check the entire data, and with coming AI and machine learning, you can do it in real time as well. So for financial institution, if you see, every financial institution is working on machine learning and AI to detect frauds in real time. So I think the forensic audit domain will become more challenging, at the same time will evolve as a great domain to work upon with the help of technology. And I think it will be great to see how this gap narrows down of learning technology by investigators, and how fraudsters are using it.
ग्रेट सर. 2 more last questions सर.
Yeah.
आज हमारा प्रोग्राम हमने किया चार्टर्ड माइंड्स इन पब्लिक सर्विस, मेंटरशिप एंड अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम फॉर एस्पायरिंग इन पब्लिक सर्विस. How do you see these types of program are beneficial for the upcoming chartered accountants, and what kind of advice, if you have in your mind, or any suggestion, कुछ सुझाव आपके मन में हो जो आप इंस्टीट्यूट को देना चाहते हो इन कार्यक्रमों के मद्देनजर रखते हुए भी और उसके अलावा भी?
First of all, I congratulate everyone who made effort to conduct these sessions, including you and all the committee members. And reason being that what I observed, not because I have to say this, because I observed that every speaker that came gave insight, and audience could clearly see that there is nothing extraordinary you have to become a public servant or come into these services. And there is a common pattern, like fraudsters have pattern, failures have patterns, success also have patterns. So if you can observe, most of the speakers have the stories, and the people who are listening can easily realize that they can be in their shoes or in their position if they make effort in the right direction with the intent. So in that way, I would say anybody who wants to go into domain of forensic audit or a financial crime investigation or detection profile, so there are, first of all, they have to assess themselves whether it's their inclination or not. If I am take the learning from the session or my personal observation also, whether it is for you or not, you have to assess it, because it doesn't make any sense if you does not have inclination or intent within you to pursue this domain, and that you don't know at initial. You have to expose yourself, you have to try it for some time. You can work for a few forensic audit engagement or with some firms. As I said, work for a contractual job as a consultant in some organizations like SFIO and ED. Then maybe you will be able to know whether it is in you or whether it excites you or not. But for this domain, anything which you decide at the start may not be right. You have to take some steps to get involved into the domain, learn and observe what this domains expect from you, and how, because people generally romanticize investigations and all these jobs, but you only know when you go into the water. So I think maybe at least 6 months, 1 year, or some part of assignment you do before assessing whether it's for you or not. And if it is for you, then there are so many common ways to achieve it, because ultimately everything have same common observation. If you have persistency, consistency, intent, integrity, all these qualities you have to succeed in any profile. But first of all, you have to see whether it is for you or not.
Right, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I'm sure our viewers will get the benefit. And वो आपकी जो journey है, really it is very insightful and they will learn a lot from your experience. Once again, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time and addressing to our aspirant chartered accountants who want to pursue public service, sir. Thank you so much.
Again, thank you very much for calling me and doing this for our fellow chartered accountant. Thank you very much.
Sir.